What's going on, lead gen beasts? Matty Ice here, Leads for Locals. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to write really good Facebook ad copy for your ad campaigns. This is my personal strategy and kind of formula for ad copy that I've developed over the years running so many Facebook ads. And it has worked really, really well for me. By no means is this the best copywriting strategy or technique out there. I am certainly not a copywriting expert or guru, anything like that. But this formula has worked out really, really well for me. And make sure you stick to the end, because not only am I going to be sharing that formula with you so that you can use that in your own ad campaigns, I'm also going to be showing you some real examples of actual ad copy that I've written and used in live Facebook ad campaigns that worked out really well. All right, so make sure you stick to the end. My only ask, guys, is if you find the video helpful, please smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I come out with these videos. And also check out the links in the description. Always have some really good stuff for you guys in there. Make sure you join the Facebook group, etc. All right, let's dive into it. The first thing that I want to cover is a couple of key principles to kind of set the foundation for this. And something really important here, guys, is that ad copy is only one part of a successful Facebook ad campaign. And really any campaign. It doesn't even have to be Facebook, but your targeting, really, really important, obviously. Your ad creatives, like your images and videos, whether you're doing a carousel ad or whatnot, things like that. Your headline, your offer, super important. So just keep in the back of your mind that this is only one part of a successful campaign, right? Don't stop just at ad copy. And if you want like full training on like my Facebook ad strategies, there's a link in the description to a course that I have. It's very, very cheap, and you can check that out. Also, as I mentioned before, this is my strategy, by no means the best, but like I said, it's worked out really well for me. It's why I wanted to share it with you guys. And also, this is really important for your mindset too. Is you do not have to be amazing at copywriting in order to be successful with your ad campaigns. You just have to be decent at it. Like I said, because it's only one part of a successful campaign. You don't have to become this master copywriter to run successful campaigns. All right, so just keep that in mind. And the more you practice, guys, the better you're going to get at this. That's pretty much how I got to where I'm at with ad copy or copywriting, is I just practice. That's it, right? So just a couple of key principles there. Now let's dive into a little bit more of the strategy itself. So there's usually two types of ad copy that I'll run. And actually there's kind of three, because I'll combine these two sometimes, and you'll see this in the examples here in a second. But direct response and story based. So technically, when you're running something like a Facebook ad, that's a direct response type of ad campaign, because it's interruption. You're interrupting people, things like that. You have to be very direct about it. But there's a certain way that I use direct response in my ad copy, and you'll see that in a second. And then story based is obviously going to be that longer style of ad copy. All right. Now here's my ad copy template / formula. That's what I should have called it. Is the first thing that I do is I always call out my audience, and I do this in a couple of different ways. You'll see it in the examples. Sometimes I call them out very directly, and sometimes it's more indirect based on the kind of the story that I'm telling. All right. But when I do that, it's pretty obvious who I'm talking to. All right, you'll see that. The next thing I do is I call out the problem or the goal. You don't always have to hammer on whatever the problem is. Sometimes you can focus on what is their goal. Is it to maybe buy a house, do more real estate deals, retire, have a better retire, or a good retirement, whatever. All right, you'll see that in a second too in the example. Transition is basically the bridge between the problem and goal. The problem, number 2 and number 4 is what I should say. It's the bridge between those two. The solution is where we're actually letting them know, like, hey, there is a solution to this problem, or there is a way to get to your goal. It's this right here. And sometimes I'll combine the solution and the offer, like they'll be in like the same sentence or whatnot. But after this, after you let them know what that solution is, you make the offer, whether it's your free guide, a free custom plan, consultation, whatever it is, you make that offer. And then finally, number 6 is the call to action. Very, very clear on what they need to do. Click that learn more button to request your free guide or whatever it is. All right. So let's dive into some examples, guys. That's where this is really going to start to make sense. All right. So step number one, calling out the audience, real estate investors in this one. And this is what I consider a direct response type of ad copy, because you can see it's very short. It's very direct, right to the point. Okay. But I still follow that same formula where I'm calling out my audience, real estate investors. There is no question whatsoever about who this ad is for. Real estate investors, right? So that's one way of calling out your audience, is just directly calling them out. Okay. Um, want to do more real estate deals. Now, notice that when I ask this question, I really like asking questions at the beginning of my ad copy, just because it kind of gets the wheels turning in their mind a little bit, and it holds their attention a little bit more. But we're not really calling out like a specific problem here, so to say, where like we could have said something like struggling to do more real estate deals instead of want to do more real estate deals. It's just a subtle difference right there, where we're focusing on the end result of them doing more real estate deals. That's what real estate investors want to do. All right, next is so we're starting to transition into that solution part right here. So it's like I said, sometimes I combine a couple of them, but having good credit equals more funding so you can. That's basically the solution here, where so if you get better credit, you can get more funding so you can do more real estate deals. Pretty simple, right? That's the solution. So now we need to make an actual offer now that we've mentioned what that solution is, which in this case, it's a free real estate credit repair guide. So right here, learn how to improve credit with our free real estate credit repair guide so you can do more deals. And notice that it's not just any credit repair guide, it's a real estate credit repair guide. Again, what I was saying earlier, ad copy is only one part, guys. Your offer also needs to resonate with your audience. And if you can create something very specific for that specific audience, it's going to resonate with people a lot more. And your ad campaign will do better. All right. So here's our offer. And then we have our call to action at the end. Click the learn more button and tell us where to send it. That is it. Okay. So that's an example of a direct response campaign that I ran, or direct response ad copy that I used. This campaign did really well. Next is kind of a combination of direct response and the story-based style ad copy that I mentioned. So right here, we start off with a question. Now, again, sometimes I call out my audience directly and sometimes it's indirectly. This one is indirect in the sense that I'm not specifically saying real estate investors like I did the previous example, but it's pretty obvious who I'm speaking to. Need funding for your real estate deals? Really, the only type of person that you're going to ask that question to is a real estate investor, right? So just different ways of calling out your audience, all right? If so, we want to connect with you. Whether you're a real estate investor just getting started. So this is a little bit more of that story-based style ad copy, where we're not just saying, hey, need funding for your real estate deals? Click the button below to request a free real estate funding consultation or something like that. We're stretching it out, right? And instead of saying like one or two sentences about what the solution is, what the problem is, whatever. We're kind of expanding on that idea a little bit more. All right. And down here, we also give some bullet points right here. And also a side note, guys, using emojis in your ad copy is really powerful too, because it breaks up those really long, long paragraphs or long ad copy or whatnot. Just makes it much more easier to consume and visually appealing. So in this, usually when I use check marks here or bullet points, it's you can use it in a variety of different ways, but in this particular case, we're sharing what the qualifications are in order to potentially work together for this funding, right? And down here, we start to get into okay. Let me back up here really quick. If so, we want to connect with you, just getting started or looking to expand your business. We have funding to help you do more deals. Again, focusing more on the goal instead of hammering on a specific problem. This is, I guess you could kind of consider this a transition where we are, we're talking about the qualifications. That way also too, we kind of weed out some of the tire kickers as well. And then this is where we start, go back. This is where we start to get into the solution and the offer. If you're a serious investor and want to access virtually an unlimited amount of capital, so we're mentioning what that solution is in order for them to get the funding to do more real estate deals. And that is to get access to an unlimited amount of capital to do more real estate deals, right? So that's the solution. From there, we're going to get into our offer. Click to learn more. Okay, so I in this particular one, I combine the offer and the call to action, where I say click the learn more button. So that's technically a call to action to request a free custom real estate funding plan. Again, the offer is very specific to the audience. It's about real estate. It's a free funding plan. That's our offer. Okay, so I kind of combined the offer and the call to action together there. And again, guys, that formula, it's fluid. You can combine some of them. It's not like you have to separate each one. And if you missed one or whatnot, your ad campaign is not going to work. That's not the point of having that formula. It's just as a guide to guide you through writing your ad copy. All right. And then finally, I'm not going to read all of this. This was a really long, very, very much a story-based type of ad campaign. This was for annuities and retirement. And I'll just point out a couple of things here really quick. We work our entire lives building wealth, growing our nest egg, securing our future. Hopefully at that point, we don't have to worry about money anymore. So notice that, again, I didn't specifically call out a very specific audience here, but the type of story that I'm starting to tell here, and also the terminology I'm using, things like nest egg, securing our future. These are words that start to go through people's minds the closer they get to retirement, or anytime that they're thinking about retirement, right? So this terminology is going to start resonating. It resonates with that particular audience. Okay, so that's how I'm calling out my audience in this particular one. And then from there, I'm really hyping or focusing on the problem / goal here, where. But this is not how retirement turns out for so many people. So this one is much more of a problem-based type of ad copy that I'm focusing on. Many are forced out of retirement, rising cost of living, increasing taxes, Social Security has failed us, all of these different problems that people experience when they're reaching that retirement age, or even if they're already retired. So a lot of different problems that I'm talking about here. All right. And then let's see. When we were 30, but not anymore, need better options. That's exactly what an annuity does. This is the transition / solution. Okay, so I kind of combine the two right there, but I start going into the solution a lot more right here. Okay, so this is my transition right here from the problem to the solution. All right, very simple. That's exactly what an annuity does. So it's very clear that we are now talking about the solution. We're no longer talking about the problem. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Right kind of annuity is often the financial safe haven, so that many people, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we're talking about our solution. This is also where I use some more bullet points here, where I'm talking about the benefits. So you can do this for qualification bullet points, benefits of what your solution does, right? A lot of different ways to use bullet points. So so now I'm going to start going into the offer and call to action right here. So if you want a safe, secure retirement, click the learn more button. There's our call to action. Again, I'm combining the call to action with the offer here. Click the learn more button below to request a free copy of our annuity income retirement guide. Very, very specific type of guide. It's not just a general retirement guide. This is specifically for annuities. So anybody who requests this is going to be interested in annuities. You already know that, right? So again, this kind of helps weed out tire kickers and turns you more into a specialist, like for this particular audience, right? So right here is our offer. It's a free annuity income retirement guide. That's it. So we called out our audience by starting to tell that story. We addressed a number of different problems here. We transitioned into our solution, which we talked about in pretty good depth right here. And then that's when we made our offer and call to action. That's it. All right, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe watch this a couple of times to go through the examples or whatnot. And again, I talk a lot about this in my Facebook ads course down below. You can check out a link to it. Click the link to check it out, whatever. Anyways, I hope that was helpful, guys. What do you guys think about this? ad copy formula. And what kind of ad copy formula do you guys have? I would love to hear your feedback. Leave me a comment down below. And also any questions that you have, anything, if you want me to expand on any of this at all, just let me know in the comments. But I appreciate your time, guys. I really hope this was helpful. Definitely recommend just practice, practice, practice. Whether you use this formula or not, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at writing ad copy. All right. So I hope you guys are crushing it, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.